The Beijing International Marathon is now in its 29th year, and every year the competition gets fiercer. Thousands of runners took off from Tian'anmen Square early Sunday morning, winding their way through central Beijing to finish here in the Olympic Center Stadium, just across the road from the iconic Bird's Nest where so many athletes fought for Olympic glory last August. Cool weather and overcast skies came together to create what the winning Kenyan team described as ideal running conditions.
With gusty winds predicted for the afternoon, the Beijing weather managed to hold off its fury long enough for the bulk of the field to finish in relative comfort. With many of the world's elite runners passing over Beijing in favor of more prestigious races, competition at the top end was mostly among teammates. In fact, both the men's and women's races had the feel of national trials. The Kenyans swept the men's division, claiming 5 of the top 10 spots and all 3 medals. Samuel Mughal took the lead with 2.5 miles to go, finishing in 2 hours, 8 minutes and 20 seconds, with teammates Nicholas Manza and Barris Benson trailing by 22 and 31 seconds respectively. And while the first Chinese man finished down in 7th place, there was better news for China on the women's side. Last year's winner and reigning world champion Bai Xue managed to hold on to her title despite finishing well outside her personal best, crossing the line in just under 2 hours and 35 minutes. Her compatriots Zhang Xin and Zhu Xiaolin were hot on her heels, finishing 5 and 9 seconds later respectively. Last year's Olympic marathon was dogged by concerns about the air quality, with Haile Gebrselassie the most high-profile withdrawal. But the cool fall temperatures on Sunday led many runners to turn in personal bests, though at least one Boston Marathon hopeful will have to try again to reach the qualifying mark.
For me, I got my personal best time. That is 4 hours and 18 seconds. So a little bit over my target time. My target time is sub 4.
Though this year's course varied significantly from those of years past, veteran runners seemed unfazed by the new route.
This
is my 12th Beijing Marathon. Other marathons are not as good as this one here in Beijing. This race is really exceptional.
And some attempted to turn pain into pleasure.
I ran in bare feet because it can help me to be more healthy. At the same time, I can influence other people and get them to join in. I have run 41 marathons between March 2003 until today, and I've run all of them without shoes. If everybody buys one last pair of shoes, it would be good for the environment.
The crowds were a fraction of the size of those found at New York's version of the event, but first-time competitors drew energy from those stationed unevenly along the 26-mile trail.
What I really liked about this one is there's people cheering on for the whole race, and that helps a lot.
There was a constant yelling of "Jiao, Jiao" from people along the street, and participants as you're running along, everyone gives you a bit of a smile.
On the other end of the spectrum, it was laughs aplenty once the marathoners set out. Joggers decked out as if for a costume party picked their way through the debris left in the wake of the more serious runners, stopping every few feet to take photos. Even Barack Obama showed up at the 2.5-mile fun run. And while Beijing isn't threatening to knock one of the Big 5 marathons off its perch, if this year's turnout is any indication, Beijing may soon become a new bright spot on the international circuit. Ashley Eldridge,